Hello. Statement of the International Women's Solidarity Council. Women under the rule of religion, patriarchy, and capital. In his critique of religion, Karl Marx considers it part of the ideological mechanism for preserving the existing order, a mechanism that, when placed in the service of political power and ruling classes, justifies human suffering, legitimizes inequality, and reproduces relations of domination and exploitation. For this reason, religion, in relation to the state and the law, must be entirely a private matter and have no place in legislation, education, the judiciary, or public administration. The history of religious governments has shown that the first victims of the connection between religion and the state are women. Wherever laws have been written on the basis of religious rulings and interpretations, legal equality has given way to discrimination and women have been deprived of their fundamental rights and freedoms. In such systems, women are defined not as equal citizens, but in relation to male will, family, and religious authority. Afghanistan under Taliban rule is a clear example of this reality. Depriving women and girls of education, employment, freedom of movement, and participation in social life, along with broad restrictions on their presence in the public sphere, is an example of systematic discrimination in the name of religion. In many societies, child marriage and the marriage of young girls to adult men, justified by religious and traditional arguments, continue to sacrifice the childhood, health, education, and future of thousands of girls. In many legal systems based on Islamic Sharia, women face structural discrimination in marriage, divorce, custody, inheritance, testimony, employment, and the right to decide about their lives and bodies. In Shiite jurisprudence, the institution of sireh or temporary marriage is also in the view of many critics, an example of unequal legal relations that reproduces women's subordinate position within the patriarchal structure. Violence against women is not merely the product of culture or individual behavior. It is the direct consequence of legal, political, and social structures that legalize and legitimize discrimination. Wherever women are deprived of legal equality, domestic violence, forced marriage, child marriage, control over women's bodies, economic dependence, and their exclusion from the public sphere will also be reproduced. Oppression of women is not only a cultural or religious issue, it is also a political, economic, and class issue. Capitalism profits from gender inequality, cheap women's labor, the wage gap, unpaid domestic labor, and women's economic dependence are part of the mechanism for reproducing capital. In this context, patriarchy and religious ideologies have repeatedly been used to consolidate these relations. Therefore, the struggle for women's freedom is inseparable from the struggle against exploitation, discrimination, and all forms of domination. We declare a woman is neither honor nor family property, nor a tool for producing generations, nor a sexual commodity, nor capital. A woman, above all, is a human being, a free, independent, and equal human being. The International Women's Solidarity Council calls for the complete separation of religion from the state, the repeal of all laws based on gender discrimination, the absolute prohibition of child marriage, full equality of women and men in all civil, family, economic, social, and political rights, the removal of all discrimination in education and employment, and an end to all forms of violence against women. Women's freedom and equality are not a privilege granted by the state, not a right bestowed by religion, and not a gift from men, but an inseparable part of humanity's struggle for liberation from oppression, discrimination, and exploitation. No government, no law, no religion, and no tradition has the right to take away human freedom, equality, and dignity. We do not fight to reform discrimination. We fight to end it. We demand a free human being in a free society, a society in which no person is regarded as inferior in the name of religion, gender, tradition, or class. As long as religious rule turns law into a tool of discrimination, patriarchy into the basis of social relations, and capital into a tool for exploiting human beings, the struggle for freedom, equality, and social justice will continue. Women's freedom is the measure of society's freedom. The liberation of women is not possible without the separation of religion from the state. Full legal equality and simultaneous struggle against patriarchy. Religious fundamentalism and capitalist exploitation. A woman is neither honor nor family property, nor a tool for producing generations, nor a sexual commodity, nor capital. A woman, above all, is a human being, a free, independent, and equal human being. Women's freedom is not a women's issue, but the measure of every society's freedom. International Women's Solidarity Council. Till the next video and text.